All right, hi there guys, and welcome to another reading vlog. This week we're going to be reading 2 books, and I thought I'd come and sit and chat with you guys for a bit before we get into the vlog because it feels like it's been a while since I've done that. Is my camera crooked? I feel like, oh, there we go. Okay, so the first book we're going to be reading is this novella by Stephen Graham Jones, Night of the Mannequins. Very short. I'll be able to read that probably in an afternoon. This is my year. I started last year, continuing this year, trying to read as many Stephen Graham Jones books as I can get my hands on because I love him so much. So we're going to dive into this one. And then after that, we're going to be reading this month's members only book club selection, Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. That sounds like a fake name to me. Coco Mellors. It's so cute though. So maybe it's a pen name, but maybe it's her name. And I love it. So if you haven't joined the book club already, what are you waiting for? You can join and then be ready for next month's book, which we haven't picked yet, but I'll let you know soon what it's going to be. And it's always so fun. It's fun to read a book knowing at the end you're going to have people to talk to about it who have also read it. I tell Ed about the books I read all the time, but he has no context for it. So it's always fun. This will be the 3rd month we're doing it. And I appreciate everyone who joins. So thank you so much. Anyway, how have you been? 2025 has been off to a bit of a wild start for us. We've had 2 deaths in our family, and it's taken the wind out of our sails, to say the least. So I'm looking forward now to winter ending and spring starting. And just the new beginning of spring, you know, with the blossoms and the blooms and the grass and the leaves. I need that in my life. See something fresh. So yeah, let me know how you've been, and let's get this vlog started. There's a new shop that opened up in town recently. It's called Old Crow Antiques and Bookshop. And I was in there last Friday. A woman just nearly backed into me, so that's terrifying. Anyway, new shop. When I get home, I'll show you what I got when I was in there, but it's pretty cute. Anyway, waiting for Ed now. He's got an appointment. He's in with his doctor, and I'm reading Night of the Mannequins. So basically what we've got here is the story of a friend group of like 5 kids, and they're gearing up to finish high school, and their one friend works at the movie theater, and they decide they're going to pull a hilarious prank on her. They're going to smuggle in, piece by piece, a mannequin, and then, like, sit it in one of the seats, and then, like, complain to the manager that, like, somebody's creating a ruckus. The manager's going to come in and check the tickets, and then, haha, one's a mannequin, right? But when the guy comes in to check the tickets, when he gets to the mannequin, he just checks that ticket and then carries on. And they're like, what? And then when the movie ends, the mannequin gets up and walks out. So that's where I'm at now. I'm on like chapter 4. So I'll keep finished filming that last clip and then picked up the book to read it. I realized there's a pretty big spoiler at the top of chapter 4, so I'll try to blur that out. Anyway, let's get to reading. So I just got home now, and I thought I'd show you what came in the mail. Well, I just got the book for the book club. I'm going to start reading that today. But also, if you're gluten-free and you have a hard time finding good snacks, these ones here, we get the sweet potato churro and the barbecue. They're so good. They're affordable, and they're Canadian made, in case you're Canadian like me and are looking for alternatives, you know, wanting to support Canadian companies. This is perfect, and they're delicious, especially these ones. So it's later in the day now. I finished Night of the Mannequins. I loved it. It's hard to talk about it at all without spoilers, so I'll put a timestamp that you can jump to if you don't want to hear the spoilers. But it's definitely not what you think it is. So here we go. I was thinking this was going to be a story about a killer mannequin. It is not. It's not. Even though, like I said at the beginning there, as a prank, they bring this mannequin to the theater to pull this prank on the main character, Sawyer. His cousin, Shauna, works there. And then he sees him get up and leave the theater. But we only get this from Sawyer's point of view. We don't hear anybody else talk about it. And he doesn't talk about it with anyone else. Shauna's whole family gets killed in a freak accident, allegedly. A truck, a huge transport truck, goes off the road, crashes into her house, kills her, her mom, her sister, and her 2 dogs. So the kid, Sawyer, he gets it in his head that the mannequin is mad at them for not playing with them anymore, since they've grown up and are now older teenagers, and is killing them one by one, even though this was a freak accident that killed Shauna. So he's like, oh my god, the mannequin's gonna kill us all one by one, and our entire families. I can't let this happen. So he decides instead he's gonna kill them all so that their families are spared. So he gets it in his head that this is a great idea and he's saving people, actually. So he kills them all, which in itself isn't a spoiler because that's right on the very first page. Yeah, it's crazy. Writing is just classic Stephen Graham Jones. It's dark and it's funny, and it reads and it feels like classic horror. And I love it. I love it so much. 5 stars, adding it to my read pile as we move through as many Stephen Graham Jones books as we can. Loved it. Loved it. And yeah, so now we're going to start Blue Sisters. So I just remembered I was going to show you what I got at Old Crow the other day, and it's Skipping Christmas by John Grisham. I love Christmas. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know that. And I love Christmas with the Cranks, the movie. It's that perfect, cheesy Christmas movie. And this is the book it's based on. So I'll be reading that in December, so stick around. All right, hi there, guys. It is nighttime now. And I've just come to sit and actually film a video. As you saw earlier, ooh, the glare's bad on those. As you saw earlier, I finished Night of the Living Mannequins this morning, and I'm getting ready now to start Blue Sisters, which I can't wait to start. But I squeezed in a book this afternoon. It was 200 pages. It's called Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson, because I knew I wanted to get a video up before this one's going to go up on Sunday night, the one I'm filming now for you. So I had Bloom on my TBR for the longest time, and I was like, I'm going to finally read it, because earlier this week I read Eat the Ones You Love, which was plant-based, and I knew this one had something to do with plants too, and it kind of did. So it was the perfect read. So I'm here now to film that video, and then I'm going to curl up and start Blue Sisters. I'm so excited for this. So this is about a group of sisters, and there were 4 of them, and one of them has died. And the 3 that are left are coming home together to deal with the death, I think. I honestly don't really know. I've just heard so many people saying they loved this book. So when we were picking the book for March Book Club, I was like, I need to read it. Now's the perfect time, because I think this is one, at least I hope this is one that everybody's going to like. So I'm going to start that as soon as I'm done filming this. So I'm going to go do that and then go start reading, and then I'll update you after I finish the first chapter. Just now remembering I told you I'd update you after the first chapter, but it's the next day now. And I did not do that. So I'm at the prologue and the first 3 chapters. So what we've got here is the story of 4 sisters, one of whom has died a year ago. And we're getting to know each of the 3 of them. We've got Avery, who's the oldest, and she's a lawyer. We've got Bonnie. She's she used to be a world-class fighting, boxer. And now she works as a bouncer at a bar. And then we have Lucky, and she's a model. And then there was Nikki, I believe. Nikki? Yeah. And she was a teacher. And she's the one that died. So I've read the first 3 chapters, 1 chapter from each of the sisters. So I'm pretty intrigued to see where this is going. So far I'm enjoying it. And I can't wait to learn more about all of them, including Nikki. So I'm going to take a little break from reading now, and I'm going to watch Yellow Jackets. Do you guys watch that? Canada, it comes on Crave, but I believe it's a Showtime show, so I guess maybe in America it comes on Showtime. And it's so good. It's so good. We're on season 3 and episode 6, and I watch it, and then I call my daughter Anna, who's at university, and then we talk about the episode that week. All right, so I finished the episode of Yellow Jackets, and then I called Anna to talk about it. That episode was crazy. That was episode 6 of season 3. Best episode of the season so far, I think. Anyway, I've also been reading more of Blue Sisters. So I read Lucky's second chapter. I keep wanting to call her Lucy, but it's Lucky. And then I read Bonnie's second chapter. Bonnie is breaking my heart. I mean, they all are. Lucky and Avery as well, but hearing Bonnie talk about the night that Nikki died, I've been in tears multiple times already, and I'm only like, I don't know, a third of the way through. Okay, I'm gonna go read Avery's second chapter and then probably call it a night. But I'll check in briefly before I go to bed. Alright, so I completely forgot to come and update you before I went to bed last night. But I did finish that Avery chapter. And then now, so far this morning, or today, it's definitely not morning, I read another Lucky, Bonnie, and Avery chapter. So basically, each of them are falling apart in their own lives. And now they've all come together back to New York, to the apartment that they grew up in, that their parents are getting ready to sell. And now they're going at each other's throats in a way that I'm sure ultimately will be healing. But oh boy, it's tough. It's tough. Some things that cannot be unsaid are being said. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I love a good family dysfunction. I love sister stories. So this one's good. So now Ed and I are just sitting down. We're gonna start the first episode of The Penguin.
Oh, hi there. We always used to joke around about how that was. What show was it?
The Parkers.
The Parkers. Everybody has the perfect, those cheesy television intros where it's
yeah.
that kind of thing. So I was trying to.
You nailed it. Nailed it.
Thank you.
So we're gonna start The Penguin. Ed watched the first couple episodes?
Yeah, I think the first 3 or 4 episodes, and I know Shannon has always liked mafia.
Yeah, I love mafia stories.
Mafia stories. So this.
We're gonna watch it.
Yeah, I felt like she would actually like this because it's not super comic booky.
Yeah, don't love the comic book movies.
Yeah, it's more mafia, less comic book.
Sweet.
So.
Then we were also talking about, because I know, Colin Farrell stars in it, and he's unrecognizable with prosthetics and all that. And we were talking about earlier how we used to have actors that just looked like that.
Yes.
That were always in the mafia movies.
Yes.
Like Paul Sorvino.
Yeah, James Gandolfini.
Where are those actors now? Why don't we have any more?
No.
It's weird.
Now they need to put a bunch of facial prosthetics and put
and a fat suit on Colin.
Fat suit and then
Farrell, yeah. Very strange. Anyway, we'll update you after the first episode. Alright, so we finished the first episode. It was really good. I enjoyed it. We're going to continue, not tonight. I'm going to bed now. But we'll continue it. Probably watch another one tomorrow. Colin Farrell looks unrecognizable. You can't even see him inside. When they do a lot of prosthetics, you can still kind of see the person, but not at all. Not at all here.
They did a great job with the makeup.
Yeah, they really did.
I don't know. I liked it.
Yep, looks good.
And again, not too heavy on the comic book stuff.
Yeah, you can watch it even if you don't like superhero movies.
Yes.
Okay. Alright, hi there guys. I thought I would come now and end this vlog. Oh, look at this. Do you like my glasses, Shane? It's handy for when I'm reading. I sent a picture to my sister, and she said, yeah, it's cute, but you're not an old lady. Well, maybe I am. On the inside. Anyway, we're going to finish this reading vlog. So, as you saw earlier, read and loved Night of the Mannequins. This was so fun. Would wholeheartedly recommend if you love a good slasher. It's very short. You can finish it in a couple of hours, which I did, and loved it. So I won't say any more about that because we already talked about her. I just also finished about an hour ago Blue Sisters by Coco Mellers. Now, this is my first book from this author. I see she also wrote Cleopatra and Frankenstein, which after reading this, I am interested to read. This was the members only monthly book club selection, first of all. I will say, if I had realized that the subject matter was as heavy as it is, I probably wouldn't have picked it for the book club, because, I try to pick something that the majority of people have a likelihood of enjoying. And if I had known, I wouldn't have picked this. That said, I enjoyed it. I read the final, so after I last checked in, there was one more chapter from each of the sisters, and then an epilogue. And, it's three flawed women kind of doing the best they can to piece their life together, and you really get the sense of that in those final three chapters from each of them. And I was pretty satisfied with where it ended. For I'll say there will probably be spoilers here if you don't want to know any spoilers, but for Lucky, she's trying to get clean, and because she's been really into drugs and alcohol and partying and really self-destructive behaviors, which they've all been involved in. They've all been in very self-destructive behaviors. So for Lucky, yeah, it's like the promiscuity, the drugs, and the alcohol. So she's trying to get clean, and she's thinking about, because she was a model from when she was very young. There's a line where it says, since she started modeling so young, her body has been public property for most of her life. So she's trying to get clean. Then Bonnie's my favorite. Bonnie's the fighter, and she realizes she's in love with her trainer, who's been her trainer since she was a teenager, and he was in his late 20s. So of course he's never been interested in her because he's not a creep. And, he looks at her as just, he cares about her a lot, but he doesn't see her that way. But then later, when she's like in her 30s, she brings it up to him, and they do connect and be together, and I love that. I loved Bonnie. She was my favorite, like I said, of all the sisters. Then there's Avery. So she went through this thing where, so she's the oldest, and she raised the other three girls, those two plus Nikki, who died. And she's married to this woman who she loves very much, but this woman wants a child. And to Avery, she's like, I've already raised all the children I want to raise in this lifetime. And they end up divorcing, which is for the best, because, when you can't give someone you want, what they want, it's only fair to set them free. And so she does, but not before doing a lot of damaging things. Like, she has an affair with a man she doesn't even care about. She's stealing. So those are her self-destructive things. For Bonnie, her self-destructive thing is the pain of the fight. She feels like, when she goes into that ring, she's receiving punishment she deserves by getting pounded. So then there's a scene towards the end where Avery goes to visit their mother, because their mother was very checked out their whole childhood. And Avery has a good and healing visit with their mom. And I really liked that scene. And then we get the epilogue, and we learn Bonnie's having a baby with her Russian trainer. And Avery's doing well, and she's married again. She's still close with her ex-wife, who got the baby that she really wanted. And Lucky's still on and off the rails. We learn that she's in rehab because a couple months ago she nearly died. So the epilogue is 10 years later, but we get the feeling Lucky's been on and off this whole time. But that's life, that's reality. Not everything's going to be perfect for everyone, and they've all got a better relationship with their mom. Their dad died 4 years or 6 years, 4 years, I think, previous to this epilogue, and he was a constant source of he was a bad alcoholic, and every room he was in, he overtook it, and they were scared and not at ease in their own home. So I enjoyed it. Definitely, if if you're sensitive, definitely check the trigger warnings for this before you read it. I don't want you to read anything that would make you uncomfortable or that you don't want to read, you know, because just from reading the blurb, it really sounds like just kind of a sad and heartwarming story, which it is, but there's a lot along the way before you get to that. And yeah, so next month for the Members Only Book Club, if you guys want to join, please feel free. We're going to be reading You Killed Me First by John Mars. And I think that's going to be one we're all going to like, or at least, you know, want to be reading. And you got lots of time because I haven't picked the date yet for the next talk, but it's usually mid-month. So you got a whole month. So go ahead and join. And thank you guys so much for watching this vlog, and I will see you again really soon with another video. Bye.